A man is not born, he is made, and he is not made in comfort. He is made in war, in suffering, in the fire of discipline and pain and failure and pressure. He is not made in peace. He is not made by chance. He is made when the world tries to break him, and he refuses to bend, but most of you don't get that. You've been lied to since birth. You were told to be nice, to be safe, to be yourself. You were told to follow your feelings, take your time, relax, be gentle. And so you became soft, numb, confused. You traded your instincts for comfort. You traded your masculine edge for acceptance. That's why you feel hollow. That's why you're angry. That's why deep inside you know you were meant for more. Because you were, and here's the uncomfortable truth, you are not a man yet, not because of your age, not because of your muscles or your beard or your ability to grow facial hair. Not because you've had sex or paid rent or bought something with your own money. None of that makes you a man. You become a man when you decide to take full responsibility for everything, when you stop blaming your circumstances, when you stop asking for validation, when you stop making excuses for your weakness. When you commit to becoming unbreakable, you want to know why you're unhappy, because you're undisciplined, because you lie to yourself, because your comfort zone owns you. You let yourself off the hook too easily. You think success is a mood. You think greatness is a lucky break. Let me make something clear. You are at war. You are at war with laziness, with porn, with junk food, with self. Doubt with Netflix, with weak people, with your old self. Every day you wake up, you either go to war or you surrender. There is no middle ground, and most of you are surrendering every single day. You hit snooze. You scroll your phone before your feet hit the floor. You eat like trash, you gossip, you consume instead of create, you waste time like it's infinite, but then you sit there confused. Why am I broke? Why don't women respect me? Why am I anxious all the time? Why do I feel like I have no purpose? Because you're losing the war. You want to be respected, then become respectable. You want power, then become powerful. You want to lead, then master yourself. You want success, then suffer for it. No one's going to save you. No one's going to force you to be great. That's your job, that's your responsibility, that's your burden to carry, and if you're too weak to carry it, then move aside, because there are real men out there who will. You were not born to sit in your room, locked to your phone, hypnotized by flashing images. You were not born to masturbate your time and potential into oblivion. You were not born to play games and chase temporary highs. You were born for battle. Inside you is something violent, something divine, something ancient. You can feel it, that primal edge, that aggression, that hunger. It's in your blood, it's your birthright, but it's been suppressed, numbed, sedated, turned into shame because they fear real men, and they should. The man who is truly free, who trains his body, sharpens his mind, disciplines his soul, and walks without fear. He is a threat to every system designed to control weak men. That's why society wants you lazy, addicted, emasculated, and broke. Because a distracted man is a defeated man. So here's your wake-up call. You're broke. Fix it. Start learning. Start building. Get obsessed. Stack your skills. Stack your hours. Stack your progress. You're weak. Train not just for abs, for power. Lift heavy. Run fast. Fight hard. Be dangerous. You're undisciplined. Structure your day. Wake up early. Cut distractions. Master your schedule. You're surrounded by losers. Leave, go alone if you have to. You don't owe weak people your potential. You're lost, pick a mission, any mission, and go. Purpose isn't found sitting still, it's found through motion. You need to look in the mirror and declare war. You need to say no more. No more excuses, no more weakness, no more pretending, no more waiting. Every second you waste feeds your enemy. Every excuse you make empowers the voice that wants you to fail. Every time you take the easy route, you kill the man you could have been. You want the life you dream about, then become the man worthy of that life. Stop wishing and build yourself into a weapon, ruthless. Focused, disciplined, clear. This isn't a game, this isn't a drill, this is real life, and it's happening now, and only men who move with purpose will win. So wake up. It's not about motivation, it's about command. You don't wait to feel like it. You do it because it's what a man does. A man gets up. A man grinds, a man sacrifices, a man provides for himself, for his family, for his future, whether he wants to or not. Do you want to be a man? Then earn it. Every morning, every meal, every rep, every decision, you build him. one choice at a time, and it never ends because manhood is not a destination, it's a discipline. You're not too tired, you're undisciplined, you're not unlucky, you're untrained, you're not stuck, you're soft, now get up and do something about it. Discipline is the foundation of masculinity, not motivation. Not luck, not talent, not alignment with the universe. That's all nonsense. The only thing that matters in this world is what you can force yourself to do when nobody's watching, because that's who you really are. The real man doesn't rely on moods. He doesn't need to feel inspired. He doesn't care how tired he is. He gets up and gets it done. Whether it's raining, whether he's sick, whether he slept 2 hours, whether he's alone, he executes. You think anyone becomes rich, powerful, or respected by doing what feels good? No. They become those things by doing what's necessary over and over and over without needing applause, comfort, or a pat on the back. Here's the difference between you and the man who wins. He doesn't care how he feels. You do. That's it. That's the only real difference. He shows up when he's angry, when he's bored, when he's in pain. While you scroll and procrastinate, he's stacking bricks. You keep searching for balance. He's searching for dominance. Weak men chase feelings. Real men chase outcomes. Discipline is the gap between the life you want and the life you have. And until you close that gap, you'll stay broke, confused, soft, and invisible. Every single result in your life is a reflection of your discipline. Look around. Your body, your bank account, your relationships, your skills. They are all mirrors of your habits. You don't need therapy. You need accountability. You need to look in the mirror and say, I'm failing because I refuse to do what must be done. You don't rise to your dreams. You fall to your standards. And most of you have disgustingly low standards for yourselves. You think discipline is optional. You think life owes you patience. It doesn't. Wake up. Discipline is not something you have. It's something you earn. You earn it by doing the same hard thing every day until it's no longer hard. You earn it by silencing the voice that says, just skip today. You earn it by doing the right thing so consistently that it becomes part of who you are. You have to kill the little voice in your head that whispers comfort, the voice that says just one more hour of sleep, just one more scroll, just one day off. That voice is your enemy. That voice is mediocrity. And mediocrity is the default of men without discipline. You think waking up at 5 a.m. every day is hard. Try being broke at 40. You think training when you're tired is tough. Try looking in the mirror and hating the man staring back at you. Try living with the regret of years wasted and potential burned to the ground. That's hard. Discipline, that's freedom. Discipline is what keeps you sharp while the world falls apart. When everyone else is panicking, quitting, or indulging, the disciplined man keeps moving. He keeps striking, he keeps improving because he doesn't need motivation. He has command. This is why 99% of men fail. They want the prize without the process. They want the win without the war. They want the results without the sacrifice. And they don't realize that the process is the prize, the grind is the growth, the pain is the preparation. Let me tell you something real. You're never going to become the man you want to be until you fall in love with the work. You're never going to build anything legendary until you learn how to repeat excellence in silence. No cameras, no praise, just you vs you. The man who can sit alone, grind for years, and never complain. He becomes untouchable. Because while others are addicted to pleasure, he's addicted to progress. You want to be rare, then train when others are sleeping. Learn when others are partying. Build when others are relaxing. Execute while they hesitate. You need to set rules for yourself, none. Negotiables, laws, wake up before the sun. Hit the gym, eat clean, study your craft, get uncomfortable, daily, not when you feel like it, always, and if you break your word to yourself. You pay a price because your word to yourself is sacred. It's everything. If you can't even trust yourself to do what you say, how can anyone else trust you? How can a woman submit to you? How can money flow to you? How can the world respect you? Discipline is your internal kingdom. Your daily rituals are your soldiers. Your actions are your weapons. If your kingdom is weak, don't blame the world. Blame your laziness. Blame your softness. Blame your betrayal of your own potential. This world doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your background. It doesn't care what you meant to do. It only sees what you've done. The scoreboard is all that matters, and you control the score through relentless discipline. If you can't wake up on time, if you can't say no to junk, if you can't work without someone breathing down your neck, you're not a man yet. You're still in the training phase. You don't get to call yourself disciplined until you do the right thing for years without falling off, until you are consistent without applause, until you are sharp, sober, focus every single day. Don't talk about what you're going to do. Nobody cares. Talk about what you've done. Better yet, don't talk at all. Let your body speak. Let your results speak. Let your presence speak. That's what discipline gives you silent power. You walk different when you've earned your stripes. You speak less, but every word lands. You move slower, but with purpose. You don't react to every insult or trigger because you've trained your emotions like your muscles, under control. Discipline isn't sexy, it's not fun, it's not entertaining, but it builds kings, it forges giants, and it destroys weakness. If you're serious about being a man, not just acting like one, then you need to be militant about your schedule, your actions, and your principles. You need to cut out softness like a tumor. You need to burn excuses in the furnace of your goals, because every moment of laziness is a moment where your enemy gets stronger. And you think there's no enemy. Wake up, the man who is more focused than you is coming for your future. The man who trains harder is coming for your position. The man who outworks you daily is the man who will one day take everything you wanted. The clock is ticking, the window is shrinking, every hour that passes is an hour closer to being forgotten. Unless you earn your place in history, and the only way to do that, discipline or nothing, most men die in the comfort zone. They don't die from a bullet or a blade. They die from the soft life they've allowed themselves to fall into. From the moment they decide that comfort is more important than progress. From the moment they stop fighting. You have no idea how dangerous comfort is. It's a slow killer. It's not loud. It doesn't scream. It doesn't make a sound, but it will ruin you. It will steal your edge, sap your ambition, and put you to sleep while the world is on fire. Comfort makes you weak. Comfort tells you that you deserve rest when you haven't even earned it. Comfort tells you to take it easy while your competition is grinding. Comfort tells you that you're good enough is actually enough. It's not, and the moment you let comfort creep into your life, that's the moment you give up. You give up on your body. You give up on your mind. You give up on your potential. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort is the reason you're not where you want to be. Comfort is the reason you're stuck. It whispers, you're good enough, you've worked hard enough, you've earned your break. You haven't, and that's the lie. You're not working hard enough. You haven't even scratched the surface. Your hard work is a joke. It's a mirage. The world doesn't care that you've tried a little. It doesn't care that you felt like doing it. It only cares about results. Comfort makes you soft. It makes you weak. It makes you believe that tomorrow will be better, that you can afford to slow down, that you can have a lazy day. But deep down, you know it's a trap. You know you've slipped, and the worst part is you feel it. You know you're not living up to your potential, and yet you keep feeding the same habits that keep you comfortable. You're staying inside when you should be out fighting. You're eating food that's making you weak instead of fueling your body for war. You're wasting time scrolling, indulging in the easy pleasures instead of training your mind for greatness. This is the ultimate battle you face every single day, the war with comfort. And until you win this war, you will never become the man you want to be. Let's talk about the battlefield of comfort. It's seductive, it's appealing, it's the path of least resistance. It tells you to relax. It tells you that you've done enough, that you can just sit back and breathe. It convinces you that you've earned the right to be lazy, to be complacent. But I'm telling you now, comfort is a lie. Comfort is a deception designed to keep you small. It wants you to stay where you are. It wants you to stay comfortable with your 9-5 job, your average body, your small circle of friends. It wants you to stay safe. It wants you to stay soft, and every time you listen to it, you give up a piece of yourself. You lose a little more of that fire that burns inside you. You trade your potential for temporary satisfaction. You trade your future for a nap. You trade your greatness for instant gratification. Comfort is a drug. And most men are addicted. The problem is, it's hard to fight. It's hard to break free. Why? Because comfort feels good. It feels familiar. It's easy. You've been conditioned to avoid pain, to avoid discomfort. You've been conditioned to believe that pleasure is the goal of life. But pleasure isn't the goal. Greatness is the goal. And greatness doesn't come from the couch. It doesn't come from sleeping in or skipping the gym or cutting corners. It doesn't come from waiting for life to happen. Greatness comes from the grind. It comes from showing up when you don't feel like it. It comes from enduring the discomfort, embracing the pain, and pushing through anyway. It comes from making sacrifices, from killing the part of you that wants to quit. It comes from saying no to the easy route and saying yes to the hard one. Your growth, your transformation, your legacy, it's all on the other side of comfort. Every time you do something hard, every time you choose action over ease, you're chiseling away at the soft man you were. You're forging a new version of yourself, a stronger, sharper, more focused man. But the truth is, most men won't make it. Most men will choose comfort over greatness. They'll choose Netflix, they'll choose junk food, they'll choose sleep over action, and that's why they'll stay stuck. They'll stay mediocre, they'll stay invisible, and they'll die with the potential of a lion trapped in the body of a sheep. Comfort is a silent killer. It's an enemy that hides in plain sight, and it's the reason so many men live and die with regret. They know they could have done more. They know they could have been better, but they let comfort take them out. They let comfort win, and that's why you need to get aggressive. You need to go to war with comfort. You need to learn to hate it. You need to learn to embrace discomfort. You need to train yourself to find power in the struggle. Comfort makes you lazy. Discomfort makes you dangerous. Discomfort is where the magic happens. It's where you grow. It's where you find out what you're really made of. It's where you see who you really are when the chips are down, and it's where the real man is forged, because the real man doesn't choose comfort. He chooses greatness. He chooses strength. He chooses to fight. Comfort is not your friend. Comfort is the enemy, and until you learn to reject it, you will never rise to the level you were meant for. The war is real, and you are either winning or losing every single day. Right now, you're either pushing yourself into discomfort and building yourself into a force that no one can stop, or you're falling back into the warm embrace of comfort and allowing life to pass you by. There is no in-between, and when the time comes when you stand face to face with everything you could have been, you'll either be proud of your fight or ashamed of your surrender. Which one will it be? The time has come. You've fought the fight with yourself. You've battled through laziness, through weakness, through comfort, and through every obstacle that stood between you and your potential. The pain, the discomfort, the relentless grind, it's all led to this moment. And here's the harsh reality. This is where most men fail. They make it this far, they go through the motions, they get stronger, they get tougher, they even start winning, and then, when they feel like they've reached the peak, they stop. They stop fighting. The truth is, the final battle isn't about beating the world. It's about never stopping the fight with yourself. You think you've arrived. You think the game is over. You think you can relax. You think you can coast, but the war isn't over. It never ends. It doesn't matter how many wins you've had, how many battles you've conquered. The final battle is always your last fight with yourself. It's the war you fight every time you wake up, every time you have to push through, every time you have to ignore the comfort and keep going. What does a real man do when the world starts telling him he's done enough? He tells the world to shut the hell up, and he goes harder. The battle with yourself is never finished. The hardest thing to do isn't to start. It's to keep going when the world has given up on you. When everyone around you is getting lazy, is slowing down, is saying, "We've made it." You know what you do. You push harder. You double down. You show the world that you're not finished yet. The battle is in the mind. The final battle is mental. This is where most men fall off. They win the physical fight. They win the battle with laziness. They win the war against comfort, but they lose in the mind. They lose the ability to push beyond the point of good enough. And if you stop pushing, if you let your mind relax, you die. You're either growing or dying, moving forward or falling back. There is no pause. There is no neutral. If you stop, if you rest on your laurels, you start the descent back into mediocrity. You go back to where you came from. And all that progress, all that pain, all that work will be for nothing. The real final battle is not the one where you reach the top. It's the one where you decide to never stop climbing. You're either battling every day or you're sliding backward. And if you want to be that man, the one who stands tall, respected, untouchable, you must commit to the daily battle. No day off, no excuses, no exceptions. You've trained your body, you've sharpened your mind. But now you must sharpen your willpower, your will to keep fighting when everyone else is resting, your will to keep going when your body is telling you to quit, your will to maintain your principles even when life tries to break them. The moment you lose this fight with yourself is the moment you start dying, and here's the thing, no one else is going to fight this battle for you. Nobody is going to drag you up the mountain. Nobody is going to put in the work you need to put in. The fight with yourself is yours alone. It's time to look in the mirror and ask, who are you? Are you the man who gives up when the world tells him he's good enough? Are you the man who settles, who takes a step back, who lets comfort win? Or are you the man who keeps pushing, who fights, who dominates every day? The man who is always becoming more, always evolving, always expanding. The man who never stops. This is the final battle. This is where your legacy is either made or broken. And you have two choices, to keep fighting or to surrender to the world's lies. Most men surrender, they stop working, they stop learning, they stop growing, they stop fighting for greatness, they accept average. They think they can relax, and they die with their potential unfulfilled. But not you. Not if you understand that the game never ends. Not if you understand that the final battle is the one that happens inside of you every single day. And the real winner is the man who refuses to surrender, the man who continues to rise, who keeps pushing, who stays hungry, the man who refuses to stop. That man will never be forgotten. That man will leave a legacy that can't be erased. That man will stand above the rest forever because he was willing to fight the final battle, the one against himself, and never stop. You're here reading this because something inside of you wants more. Something inside of you knows you're capable of more. And if you're truly serious about becoming a man, you will not rest until you've become the greatest version of yourself. You will not stop until your name is etched in history. You will not stop until you are a force the world can't ignore. The final battle is here, and you know what you must do. Fight. Now that you've read this, it's time to understand the gravity of it all. You've been shown the path, but the choice is yours. You've been told about the battles, the wars, the sacrifices. You've been given the tools and the blueprint to forge yourself into something unstoppable. But at the end of the day, it's all on you. Will you choose the pain? Will you choose the struggle? Will you choose the discomfort that comes with being the man you're supposed to be? Or will you choose the softness, the ease, the death that comes from avoiding the fight? Most men choose the latter. They let life pass them by. They wait for things to happen. They hope their dreams will come true without the sacrifice, without the discipline, without the fire. They believe that if they work just hard enough, they'll find happiness. But they never do, because happiness is a fleeting illusion. It's not something you find by running from struggle. Happiness comes from progress. Happiness comes from the feeling of being unbeatable, of knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. It comes from looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I did it. I didn't stop. I kept going when the world told me to quit. That's what a man is. A man is someone who refuses to stop. A man is someone who knows the fight never ends, and even when the world tries to pull him back, he pushes forward, knowing there's no turning back. If you choose to fight, you'll transform. You'll become the person you were always meant to be. You'll leave behind the old version of yourself, the weak version, the comfortable version, and rise into something better, stronger, and more powerful. The man you were meant to be is waiting for you to decide. But if you choose comfort, if you choose to let life pass you by, you will die a quiet death. Not a physical death, but a death of your potential, a death of your true self. You'll die with all the greatness inside of you, never fully realized, never fully expressed. The choice is yours. You've seen the truth. You've been given the blueprint for battle. You've been shown that the path to greatness is not easy. It's hard, it's painful, it's uncomfortable, but it's the only path worth walking. So now rise to the challenge, rise to the man you were born to be. Step into the ring, face your battles head on, and make the world know your name. If you keep pushing, if you keep grinding, if you keep fighting, you will never be stopped. You will break through every wall, destroy every obstacle, and carve out your legacy. This is your moment. Be a man and never stop fighting, and that's it. The journey from the start to the end, the choice is yours to make. Rise, or let the world dictate your fate. But don't forget, real men never give up.